And here we are. Hi everyone. As I promised, I will talk about After Effects, one of my favorite programs, my favorite software. One software I use maybe for 20 years, or yeah, around 20 years. The thing with me is that I'm not specialized in After Effects. I don't work just with After Effects, but I use it extensively lately in last couple of years, and I use it all the time whenever I need something, and that something is always a video. Whenever I need some footage, video, I turn to After Effects. What is After Effects? After Effects is one old software Adobe bought years ago, and since then it's Adobe After Effects. It's meant for linear editing and compositing. Lately that's all under umbrella of one term called motion graphics, and that's what is After Effects for. After Effects is for motion graphics. Some people say After Effects can look intimidating for novice users. When they see it first time, they don't know what to do. Can I make new video? No, I'm making project. What is this? What is this? And sure, After Effects is complex and big, huge software with huge possibilities, with endless possibilities, with thousands of different settings and plugins and workflows. But actually it's quite simple, and I will try to show you that. So here, this panel here is your project view, and what you do in After Effects is that you basically make compositions. So create new compositions, you get your name and settings for your composition. To know what to do with this, you may need some basic knowledge about video and for video formats and stuff. I'm sure you all know that for HD TV or 4K TV, I'm not sure you know exact resolution and frame rate and what that even means, but it's like this. We have most of us have HD or 4K TVs, and those TVs use that format, HD format. HD format in computer terms, in computer worlds, in digital world, is described with pixels. So that's a format that is some pixel wide and some pixel height, and that value is 1920 for width and 1080 for height. That's 1920 and 1080 pixels, and that's HD. And you can see After Effects already recognized it's some HD. And After Effects has various presets for your file, for your composition. Name your composition whatever you want, but it's good. Composition 1. So, what is that video? Video is something that has width and height, and it has frame rate. I'm sure you all know that animation is done by drawing 24 images for 1 second. That's the frame rate. I'm sorry, I need to ask my kid. And we have a little dog who makes a lot of noise. So, you need to know about this thing, frame rate. I am sure many of you know, but it's not, let's just repeat it. Frame rate is essential part of video, and you can see this is already HD, preset HD with its format, and it's 25 frame rate, frames per second. The next things, for example, for YouTube, common format is HD with 60 frames. It's also common for let's say for social media posts, that could be half, or it could be 720p format, which is like not real HD, but some smaller HD. It's HD TV, you see. But for now, we will just take our HD and we will add 30 frames per second, because we like to work in that way, and we will make it to be 5 seconds long. And there it is. This is our composition. But what is happening? There is nothing here. How do you work in After Effects? Well, you either import some footage, and that can be really anything. Footage that can it can be images, it can be videos, it can be files, Photoshop files, stuff like that. Or you can maybe draw something, but your options are a bit limited. You have these shapes tools. You can maybe draw with something with pen. This pen is often used for something else in After Effects, but it can be used that way. The magic of After Effects shows when you import footage. For this case, I prepared some footage I found on the internet, and I will import it all. So there are websites with free video samples and stuff you can use to train. You can use it to train yourself on and experiment and do stuff like that. Okay, we here have one video. You press 0 or space to preview your video. This is slow motion, okay. Nice. It's a nice video. Let me just tell you that you can use After Effects for some basic montage, how it's called montage, montage, I'm not sure. Let's see how it's pronounced. I always pronounce montage, that's how it's not montage, it's montage. A paste up made by sticking together pieces of paper, photograph, or videos, for example. And Adobe has a special software designed and developed just for that. It's called Adobe Premiere, and that's also a very serious software. But After Effects is not meant for that. You can do it. You can maybe stitch some clips together in After Effects, even add transitions between those videos. You can do it, but it's not created for that. When you hear the term motion graphics, that's exactly what it is, motion graphics. And now I will show you maybe in one fine example. I will include Photoshop 2, and I will show you maybe basic some basic stuff, how you can use After Effects. We will create in Photoshop a new file that has same dimension as our HD, and we will invent some logo, for example. Why not? So this will be a little about Photoshop as well. So if you want to learn about Photoshop, maybe you already know Photoshop, I will just try quickly to create some interesting logo. Let's see. Let's just pick blues. Okay, I will create some gradient pattern, reverse. We can do this in After Effects too, but this is how it's mostly done. Okay, now I have background. I will call it background. Let's try to make some logo, but not like this. A company named Lorem Ipsum, okay, and that is maybe a logo, and maybe I really have a lot of these common fonts. What are those? Maybe I will just delete them later. Condensed, I don't want condensed. Okay, this one will be good. This will be logo slogan, okay. Logo slogan or buzzword or whatever. Let's try and make this more interesting. Why ipsum? Why not opossum? Lorem opossum. It's opossum called a lorem. Yeah, I will definitely try to make this more interesting. Let's make it yellow. Let's add some layer effects quickly. Inner shadow, okay. Maybe some shade. I will pick other color. Okay, maybe some gradient overlay, but in yellow color. Okay, definitely not radial. And I will paste this same style here. Logo slogan. Okay. And that's it. Let's save this. Should I add something more? I don't know, maybe some circle. No. Let's save this. We save this as Photoshop. And for example, your client asks you, I have this logo, but I need animation from it. I need it to be an intro for something. Do you know how to do it? And you will say, yeah, I know how to do it. I watched some tutorials. Then you import your logo. You don't check these. I will explain later what are these. You import it as footage and as composition. Retain layer size. If it has some layer effects, you merge those. And there it is. Our logo is here. And it's pre-composed. You see? His composition, separate composition, same as our composition. So you can go in directly inside. And here you will see the layers. It has two backgrounds because we created a new one. This is our background. This is first part of okay. Now you want to animate this, and it's quite simple. And that's the most the most frequent case usage of case scenario for After Effects. You have something and you want to animate that to use it somewhere else, on TV, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. And let's see how it's done. So now you know there is a format you work in. It's HD. It has some frame rate, and you made it 5 seconds long, and this is it. These are the frames. So if I just leave this, it lasts 5 seconds, nothing happens because we didn't do anything yet. This part here, it's called timeline. Whole part. It has layers because we have our footage already created with layers. And you can animate any of these values through time, and that's basically it. Each layer has these basic properties that are that can be animated through time. Anchor point, position, scale, rotation, opacity. Those are the very basics. Anchor point not so much, but position, scale, rotation, opacity, those are the basic stuff you can animate through time on your layer. You can add more stuff there, but let's start with basic stuff and how you do that. So now you heard that why is there a mask here? We don't need this mask. We'll delete it. Okay. You want you heard your client saying, I want logo to come fade in. I want it to fade in, and you say yes, and you don't know what fade in means. With that, I can't help you. You must, as you work, you will learn how some things are called, and those things are motion graphics related and video editing related. So when you hear someone saying do a transition and you don't know what that means, you will Google and you will learn it. I just can't help you with with thousands of terms you might that are used in this that are used in After Effects, in Video World, in World of Video, and you must learn them alone. But fade in looks simple, right? Fade in is if I take this Lorem logo and animate its transparency over time. To do that, you see each layer has this little stopwatch. You click on that stopwatch and you change the value. Now I created that, I made a keyframe, so that's another term in animation, in world of animation. It's called keyframe. It's point on timeline where something is defined that will happen to the thing we are animating. So on frame 10 there is a keyframe with opacity 0, and now I will move it to frame 20 and change that opacity to 100, and this is fade in of our logo. Okay, quite simple. We need to add fade in for the rest of our logo, and we will create fade in logo. How did I do this? I use shortcuts. You will use two. T is shortcut for opacity, or if you have selected layer. Okay, for slogan we can maybe change it. We will change it. We will not use fade in. Our logo already uses fade in. Let's try something else. Let's try position. This, I will add keyframe for this position here. I will move backwards and move our logo slogan out of the screen. And there it is, it's animated. What I can do is also I can copy keyframes and paste them and adjust when this logo will move. Let's preview it. That's it. Quite simple. The most basic, the simplest thing in the world. So your logo is logo reveal lasts 5 seconds. You take your time to show it, and then it stays on the screen, and then on maybe the 4th second you want it to go out. You click again. You click this little diamond to mark a new keyframe. This means that everything you do will happen from here, from this position. Move it a little bit further, and now it goes away. Let's do it for our so-called logo. Also fade out. It will go on this keyframe here. It will go from 100 opacity to 0, and it will go away. And we will do same for the rest of the logo. And there it is. Lorem ipsum, logo slogan. Lorem ipsum gone, logo is gone. We created a simple animation. Now, what I can't teach you is about many little things that makes animation interesting. And I can show you maybe just a little. But if you're curious, if you want to learn about After Effects, how to do things, you will probably learn about animation and ways to make animation more interesting. One of the most important way to make animation interesting is to use curves for your movement. You see, this is movement, and this movement is by default linear. So that means that the logo from here to here moves in a linear way with same speed and everything. If you want to make animation more interesting, you would probably use easings. For example, I want this logo to use ease in, so it will be slow as it goes and speed up when it comes. Let's see. And animation is already more interesting. Another way to make animation more interesting is to use classic movement, real life object movements. That means that, for example, this object, if it comes like this, it will probably stop and bounce a bit. So I will move it a little back and turn it back. You can adjust your keyframes so your animation looks more interesting. See, it bumped, bump. And we created some animated logo. It's not much. It's nothing complex. We didn't use any complex animation. My idea is to just show you how to animate things. But After Effects can animate things in thousands of ways. And let's try one more. Let's maybe try to place this, and then you realize, hey, I don't see my footage below my video. And that's what After Effects also do. You can overlay your video with another video, and you can use some of these overlaying or I mean blending modes. After Effects is incredibly simple, but it can do wonderful things. Let's try maybe another way to animate this, animate some text over this video. Okay, let's create, we actually don't need to create a new composition. Let's just add some text here. You will get new layer. You can name that layer later, whatever you want. This, I think it's called Cappadocia. It's in Turkey. I recognize it. Cappadocia. Okay. You have some basic essential settings for your fonts. You can pick new fonts. Okay, this one is good. You can align. Okay, Cappadocia, and let's write something more like Turkey. Turkey. I think this is how they write Turkey. We can use maybe smaller font. We can align this. Okay, this looks much better. But our client wants it to be written letter by letter on the screen, and you can of course do that too. This time you don't use these properties. You have text, and that text is already it has lots of options. You can animate through time, and it has this one special settings called source text, and I think that's cool. For example, source text for our first frame will be nothing, and for our second frame, okay. Now where is our layer now? It's here. Now on this frame I want just C to show, and on this frame I want to show P, Kappa, Do. I'm not even sure if this is correct way to write it. Now we have some typewriter effect. Cappadocia, cool. Cappadocia and Turkey. Let's animate Turkey as well. Let's use that source text. There are dozens of other ways too, but this one is very simple. So I will add this here, and for this one, nothing. Okay, I forgot how it's written. Let me check quickly How is this written? Turkey. That's it, it's okay. So, T U R K I Y and D. Okay, this is better. Maybe you would like to, let's make it a little bit transparent. You can select two layers if you want to add same change to both. Press T, and this is the beauty of After Effects. You can edit value of more than one layer. You will use that often. Let's say 60 is okay. Let's maybe change the blending mode. I'm not even sure if it's Cappadocia, it's probably Cappadocia, but it doesn't matter. So, if you did the same as me, now you would already have some animation. Let's see what we more have. We have 4K video of waves. Now that's cool. 4K means it's double the size of HD. Maybe we can overlay this too with some transparency. And slowly fading in. Let's move it under. It's too fast. Let's make it a bit slower. And we could all maybe do something like this. Change your blending modes to something more interesting. This is not. This is maybe too dark. But it looks good. Multiply. Overlay is quite nice. And that's how you create videos. That's how you create motion graphics. This is now called motion graphic. Now, common stuff you will do is maybe adjusting settings of your composition to last longer. For example, 8 seconds. Then you maybe want to end your animation, so it's not just ended abruptly. You want everything to go smooth. Maybe you want this. Control D will duplicate your layer. Maybe you want this window below to disappear. Okay, let's try it. Let's make it disappear from here to, like so, let's say here. And it transitions smoothly to normal video. And let's fade out these logos. What I like to do, I never like when something ends together. I always like when first one goes away, then another goes away. Let's see how it looks. It's definitely not Cappadocia. I'm sure it's Cappadocia. Let's see. I will change it here. The thing is, I will need to Cappadocia here, not S. It will be K. Okay. You need to change it on other layers, other keyframes as well. That's the beauty of working with text in After Effects. Oh, where is R? Letter O. Kappa. Sorry. Do. And at the end, maybe you want it to go from black to this and end to black, which is also common. You can add new layer. You see, you can add lots of layers, but let's go slowly. You can add solid layer. It names says everything. It's a solid, flat piece of layer above or below. In your composition, it's black. And I will add it one quick fade in. It goes, and one quick fade out. And there is our footage. Now, the next important and super important thing with After Effects is what you do with it. And you really need to know what are you doing with it. Explaining that is a bit too much for this first introduction, but let me introduce you to another new term. Maybe you heard, maybe you didn't. It's called rendering. And once you are satisfied with your composition, you can render it, or as After Effects call it, pre-render it. After Effects has its own built-in render engine to render videos in various formats, and there are lots of those formats. But let me explain you, let me teach you about some used most frequently. And lately, After Effects has its software companion. It's called Media Encoder. It can help you quite a lot with rendering. It's faster, it's maybe even better. And let's try to open that, because at the end, when you do your job, you will need a deliverable format of your video. And that will be one format for TV, that will be another format for YouTube, or a third format for phones or for iPhone, or you maybe need to render it in full quality for later use, and that's different than rendering it as compressed video for use on social websites or on YouTube. But what you can do with it, one thing often used in After Effects and in video compositing, it's called sequence. It basically means you render all your frames or of your videos as separated images, and those images can be anything from JPEG to PNG to Targa, TIFF, whatever. What we want is some video. And the most popular formats today is this, called H.264, which at the end creates a video file, I'm sure you know, called MP4. This is a codec or something like that, and this is an extension of that video file. This means that this file is highly, and it's already compressed and ready for use on internet. It's not recommended to use these files as your source files, as your quality footage. You can maybe adjust that if it's too large. If, for example, Twitter or any other website tells you I accept only video files 5 seconds long and 10 megabytes large, and your full quality video could maybe be larger than that, then you would use these settings. Then maybe you could pick medium bit rate. I could explain you on this, everything about this, but I don't want to overload you so soon. For now, all you need to know is that your phones, tablets, YouTube, all use this H.264 or maybe newer H.265. Then you pick a place, you choose a folder where you want your file to be rendered, you click save, and you render your file. This is called rendering. So now this is different from this, because this is preview. This is your preview window in your software, and this is final file. That's why it's called rendering. We can take a look. Be sure to have a irreplaceable player called VLC. That's the best player there is. And this is our file. This is our first video in After Effects. It's heavily compressed, but I think it's okay. That's it for today. I hope you like this introduction to After Effects. Basic stuff, and we will take it from there. I will see, do you like it? Do you respond to it? Do you want to learn it? Do you want to learn about After Effects and all what you can do? You can do a lot. You can do tons of stuff in After Effects. And if you are curious and interested, you can maybe try. For end, let's mention one important thing, and that I kind of don't support piracy. I'm not even sure that you can pirate this anymore. But After Effects is not free. It's commercial software owned by Adobe, a huge corporations with dozens of thousands of employees, and you can get your After Effects here, and you can maybe try free trial. It lasts for a month. You can maybe download it, free trial, and try to learn with me. You can there is a ton of resources and tutorials and how-tos and beginner guides on internet. You can go there too. You can stay with me too. I don't mind. If you like it and you think this is maybe a good investment, you can I think pay just for After Effects monthly. Let's see. Let's buy now. You can have all Creative Cloud apps for $60 a month, which is hefty. You can have just After Effects for $23 a month, and I think that's the case. That's the case if you pay monthly. If you pay, no, that's the case if you pay yearly. That means you will agree to pay 12. No, pay for a whole year, or you can just pay 35 and by month, and you can cancel anytime. That's it. That's it for today. That's it about After Effects. Next time I can think maybe of some more advanced introductory stuff. In case you like this. So, see you around. Don't forget to subscribe and stuff. All the stuff other YouTubers telling you to do, and me too. Please like, subscribe, and see you again. Bye.